What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Hear me out. You know, the narrative in the community has been, if you buy Madden used, EA won't get their money. So I feel like EA wanted to take GameStop out of business to end that mindset, because they have play the game risk-free. If you don't love it, return it by August 30th. Receive a full retail value in trade credit rather than the $3 in Jolly Rancher they normally give you. Let's take a look at the quality that Madden 21 shows here. How about players' names? Not getting them spelled correctly, it's a big deal. But team names, I mean, guys, there is 32 teams. That's an awful lot. Spelling everyone right can be a challenge. How about using your NFL exclusivity to get current assets, current photos and images of players and teams to use on your splash screens? How about getting players' ages right? I mean, these are things that people will ultimately pick up on, but not just player ages. How about getting players right? Did you not mean Mo Lewis instead of Muhammad Big Mo Wilkerson? Because that's not about him at all. And it's not just players, it's words. I think you meant offense out to lunch, not R for lunch. Getting teams correct. Again, small thing, right? Small detail, but making sure when you're loading assets, are they going to appear correct? That's an interesting Titans logo. That's an interesting Texans logo, but it just continues to show they don't train themselves to test their work or care about each other's work. I mean, the rainbow coaches now with rainbow sleeves because we loved it so much before. And you know, it doesn't stop in the coach's office. It's been on the field for years. The rainbow helmets return. Not just that, paying attention to your product, making sure your fonts align correctly. Bobby Aber here, even though there's a 0 for 3 digits, the 11 doesn't line up correct. I don't know what someone did to this Lamar Jackson, but somehow his head is comically large on his body. But again, it just is what it is. Not only that, and this is the biggest part that I struggle with. The photo editing in this game for jerseys is just, it's bad, okay? There's no two ways around that. And the problem that I have is this. There are so many talented people in our community. And if you don't want to use our community, just go out to Twitter. There's so many people that would be proud to have their work in a video game. They'd probably let you use it for free. But rather than go out and try to work with those people, instead, you just put atrocious things in your game that visually look terrible. For the sake of what? Keeping it in-house? All you have to do is reach out to the community. Me, as an example, I've used my channel to try to better your game, free of charge to you, for over 10 years. You don't think that there's someone that wouldn't be willing to go out and help you with the images? Admit that you can't do it. Maybe that's the underlying topic here. EA can't admit, the employees there can't come to grips with the fact that they can't do the things they're supposed to do. And rather than ask for help, they just continue to struggle along and put out a subpar product. Personally, I don't understand it. You know, all these errors in a independent game would cost them a customer. EA doesn't lose the customer as quickly because they have the NFL exclusivity. They fall back on that way too much with their customers. There should be a lot more pride in this game. There should be a lot more time spent with this game. No one should be able to sit there and make a video like this. But I will say, everyone that plays this game and has any type of reach should make a video like this. I saw someone last night on Twitter talk about some of his favorite creators and how he could not go and watch their videos. And I hate to see that. I really do. I hate to see a game is so bad, a game is so poorly received that a creator is impacted by it. You know, just about every other game in the marketplace I can think of, at least at some level, make sure that their creators have something to work with. Make sure that they listen to their community enough to make sure that the people that, whether they are in a game changer program and actually officially assist in selling their game, or whether it's an unofficial capacity where just showing the fun and time they spend in the game can help encourage other people to play it longer or even buy the game. EA really struggles getting that relationship down. EA doesn't seem to express concern when creators are threatened because they don't reach out to the right people. They really, whether it's the creator, you could sit there and say, I've burnt bridges with EA all day long. But at some point, they have to look at the people that they are supporting, whether it's the MUT creators or the franchise creators, and say, we need your assistance in knowing what you need to promote our game better. I can sit here all day long and they can never make gameplay better, and that's okay. But the fact that they don't go to the biggest names in our community and take their feedback and apply it to their game is astonishing. I've reached out, just as a side note, I've reached out to Deuce Douglas countless times. Guy has never responded to me once. But I love the work that he does and the passion and the time that he puts in just to try to make the screens in Madden better. And it doesn't mean that EA has to go and hire him, but I don't know why they don't look at those things and use them as a real, tangible bulletin board material where that's what they strive to do. I mean, technically, no offense to Deuce, they should be doing far better than what he's doing. Madden should actually surpass every fan creation and every fan wish list made. Madden should be inspiring us to think outside of what's possible in our minds in terms of a video game. They should be innovating to that level. I see a lot of people talk about where they thought the game would be 10, 5, 8 years ago. We looked at where the video game had been, where it was, and we were inspired by the technology that was coming, and we really thought there was limitless potential for this game to be great. And unfortunately, what we've seen is not even the game improving, but in many cases regressing to the point that we have a worse product. If you just go feature for feature, especially in franchise mode, it's not even debatable. There were more features before than there are now. And that is something to many people is just unexplainable. I mean, there's not many products that you come across in your life that will spend 10 years going backwards. Because in most cases, that product will be engulfed by a competitor. In fact, you could say not only that product, but in most cases, that company would just be engulfed by competitors. But because EA has strived to protect themselves and their poor product by maintaining a relationship with the NFL, you just don't see that same consequence with EA Sports in this game. However, I will say, if there ever was going to be a year where distinct change could be made, the NFL we know is very protective of their brand and their image, and there is going to be someone, somewhere, that sees that user score, and there will be some real questions that need to be answered by EA Sports. Because I'll tell you, the NFL is not going to sit there and look at a user score less than 1 and not have some serious questions and need some serious answers. And I hate to break it to anyone that's a big EA fan, if you think for 1 second they're going to sit there and say, oh, we got rating bombed because we had this fixed Madden franchise trending because we didn't do a whole lot to a game mode and this isn't fair. The great thing is this user score has been going down year after year after year. It's not like it went from a 6 to a 7 to a 7 to an 8 to a 0.5. It's been going down year after year. What you're seeing now is a culmination of fans that have had enough. And we've had enough because we're constantly met with a game like this. And perhaps a company that wants to take a used game seller out of business. Who knows? But with all that said, I appreciate you watching this, and I will be back in a week with more commentary.